So now we're moving into the heavyweight class, which is under 100 kilograms, which is around 220 pounds, I believe. So this division goes up to super heavy.
마이너스 100kg 제1경기 미국 얼라이언스 주짓수 로베르토 히메네즈.
Roberto Jimenez fighting out of Alliance Jiu-Jitsu in Vegas.
브라질 노바 유니아오 앤더슨 무니스.
It's a very interesting matchup. Two young guys in the division.
Yep.
Brown versus purple belt.
Roberto, I think, is 18.
Yes,
very young.
18 years old. I'm not too sure how old Anderson is, but he looks to be around the same age, maybe.
Yeah, very, very young. And Anderson is about 6'5". I think is
yeah, definitely
195 centimeters.
The tallest competitor we have,
yeah,
maybe even
humongous.
The biggest competitor we have in the heavier weight class.
And he's fighting near Sao Paulo, out of Novo União. Oh, and the immediate, very quick guard passing. That's something that you can look for from Roberto.
Yeah.
Very, very quick.
Non-stop energy.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't know how big he is. He moves like a much smaller guard passer.
Yeah, and he's also used to fighting in the heavyweight class, and he double golded at purple belt Worlds last year with all submissions, so he definitely is used to fighting the big guys. I believe in the final he fought an ultra heavyweight.
And Anderson, ooh, look at these double under pass attempts.
Looking to just calm it down for a second and get some grips.
Yeah.
So he can get established, but Roberto's not giving them a lot of time or space at all.
It's cross grip, and they're about out of bounds. They're going to reset him back in the center.
Yeah, Roberto likes to fight at this very high pace, make a lot of guys not be able to get their grips or make a lot of mistakes.
And that's got to really catch a lot of his opponents off guard because of, in their weight division, there's not going to be a lot of people that move like Roberto.
Yeah, definitely. Once you get to the super heavies and ultra heavyweight divisions, guys are not moving this fast.
And if you're not familiar with Roberto's game, he attacks the back like nobody else. It's crazy.
From all positions, passing from the feet, even from his guard, he's going for the back.
I've seen him from the bottom of side control take the back.
Oh,
beautiful.
Get a little bit heavy, end up getting him swept here. And he's going to look for the leg, it looks like.
Anderson's going to make that work. Oh, does he get the points? They give him the points. Still a lot of time to work.
2-1 advantage.
Ollie stands up and he's trying to wave off those 2 points and says that there should be an advantage. The other refs don't agree.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2 points for Anderson and 1 advantage for Roberto. He has to get to work here from his guard.
Anderson, extremely athletic as well. As soon as we got to the Spider training facility, and there you can see Roberto working on that collar sleeve omoplata. Interesting. Reaching underneath the leg, grabbing the lapel of Anderson.
Yeah, maybe going for a bit of an X guard here. Very unique entry.
Yeah, this is an interesting position. But Anderson, cold, had not even warmed up, just did a strict ring muscle up. First thing he did when he got to the gym. And he's a big guy.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
It was impressive. So definitely someone that's very strong and athletic.
Roberto up on the single leg here.
Oh, they're about to go off the mats, and thankfully they did not keep going. Nearly just crashed into
close there.
The camera. So the way the out of bounds works is there's the safety area, which is the area between the red and the black. So the red line, the white area that's between the red line and the black part of the mats, they can keep going.
Yeah.
But as soon as they touch the black, that is out of bounds.
Yeah, the black is out of bounds 100%. And if they're in that past that safety line, it would only stop if there's a no action or a breaking action, and they'll bring him back in the middle. But if there's a submission or something like that, they're allowed to keep fighting past that red line until they get into the black.
Which I think is something that, a little bit of a telegraphed attempt at the double, maybe just trying to get grips.
Yeah.
But Anderson's so tall and lanky, able to just stiff arm with his own grips.
Roberto pulling this time around. May look to go back to the same sweep, but back in the middle of the mat so he could finish. He was very close to finishing that last takedown attempt. I believe if he had turned it towards the middle, he would have finished.
Oh,
arm drag. Anderson countering very well.
I like that, moving towards the arm drag, gets his head down, but now has to watch out for his leg.
Yeah.
Roberto going on this, he's going for a toe hold now.
Yeah, Anderson being a purple belt may not be used to having to defend these leg locks here.
Yeah, we'll see.
May turn into a difficult situation for him. Roberto looking to turn it towards a knee bar or 50-50.
Yep, he gets it all the way to 50-50, which should give him maybe a little bit easier path towards the sweep from here.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about this tournament. They have purple belts in, but it's black belt rule set, so all the submissions that black belts can do are in. So someone that may be a purple belt has to get familiar with these techniques.
Very quickly. Yeah, maybe a lot quicker than they normally would have to.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't worried about toe holds and stuff too much in the gi when I was a purple belt.
Oh, and
Roberto very strong.
Coming up towards the back again.
Towards the back.
Oh, and they run out of bounds.
May only get him an advantage here.
And they're just going to restart from standing, aren't they?
I believe so. I think this scramble was still fighting. They didn't stop any action, so they're going to end up back on the feet with an advantage for Roberto.
You got to be curious too. Anderson choosing to sit down to tie his belt.
Yeah, he may be getting a little bit tired here.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you have the bigger guy fighting a small guy that's moving a lot, you use a lot more energy than you're used to. So he has to be careful. Roberto may look to steal too if he saw that he's a little bit tired.
Guard pull and a nice knee cut interception from Roberto.
Very smart by Anderson, saying that his guard hasn't been tested since the very beginning of the match. He may try to hold here for the last 2 minutes, whereas Roberto is going to have to get a solid 2 points or a solid 3 points or a back take to win this match.
Roberto starting to get that hand free from the lasso.
Yeah, he's going to try to step over this foot, and then he's going to start turning up the pace a little bit.
Yep, Anderson very wisely puts the lasso again and takes some very deep breaths.
Yeah, right here this is good for Anderson because he gets to breathe and he's in a very solid positioning. Whereas Roberto, like we said earlier, he has to get his hand free before he can start any serious passing threats.
Yeah, I'm looking to circle that hand once again. It's a little bit deeper this time. It's going to be tougher.
Yeah, Roberto's pushing the foot in to try to circle his hand out. Ends up slipping on his grippy head.
Crowbars
And
Roberto over.
Nice tilt.
And he's going to get a sweep for this.
So he's going to go up 4. Ooh, Roberto with the ankle lock here. He's going to get.
He's applying pressure to the outside.
And both side refs are calling.
Yep,
yeah,
and they're going to
DQ
DQ him for that.
DQ.
You're not allowed to go for the footlock and apply pressure towards the outside of the leg the way he did.
Yeah. Sometimes that rule can get a little bit tricky because I believe if the athlete in the ankle lock turns it, you are allowed to finish, but I don't think Anderson put any pressure himself towards the inside.
And you can see Anderson calling for that as well. Yeah, and here we get a replay. Anderson with a sweep. Roberto realizing he's down 4 points. Jumps on that footlock, trying to finish, but he finishes to an illegal side.
Yeah, he had to try to pull something a little bit desperate out there at the end as he was about to be down 4-zip.
Yep.
So he had to start going for
now that's
more dangerous
for
attacks.
people that aren't familiar with Anderson. That has got to be a bit of an upset because Roberto has a lot of hype behind him, and he is one of the top competitors for sure, especially as a brown belt.
Yeah, definitely. But
and losing to a somewhat unknown, relatively unknown purple belt. How do you feel about that?
The size difference definitely makes a difference. It was more of like that first round was more of an absolute fight for Roberto, and it seemed like Anderson was very good at using his size and his positioning, and it seemed to be difficult for him to deal with. But when you're in the purple and brown belt ranks, it's very close to each other. So just last year, we're only in February. Just last year, Roberto was a purple belt, so the belt difference doesn't really make that much of a difference. And a lot of times when you're at purple or blue, you may not be that known even if you're very good. So it didn't surprise me too much.
And here's the end. You can see there's Roberto going for that footlock, which eventually got him